Hey YouTubers, it's me. Remember this guy? Yeah, that guy. The guy that doesn't make photography videos anymore or hasn't for a very long time. More will come. You can be guaranteed of that. Um, Over the years, I've done all kinds of different topics. We'll get into that a little bit later. So anyway, yeah, haven't done much photography stuff. A little more on that later. There's a few things I want to do. This is like my second vlog of the year. I mean, I'm not making a lot of personal videos, obviously. But I wanted to catch up on some things that might be of interest. First off, YouTube stats. For me anyway, a couple of pretty big milestones. I finally hit 7,000 subscribers. And I say finally, that's because it took forever to get from 6,000 to 7,000 subscribers. I mean, from 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6, that went pretty fast. 6 to 7 took forever. Anyway, that happened about mid-June. Thank you, everybody that started subscribing. I also hit 3 million views. That was probably a month before I hit the 7K subscribers mark. 3 million views. That is really incredible. This channel I started out with just like everybody kind of had, create an account. Uploaded a couple of completely and totally random things. Then I got, I think it was the M8, the Leica M8, and did a video about the M8. And I don't even show my face. I mean, it's the prototypical first camera video on YouTube. But it got some interest, and from there out, I just made stuff that was interesting to me in photography and other things. I mean, let's face it, this is not really a photography channel. It's really a Mike's hobby channel. And sometimes I struggle over what to call it. I used to call it pushing film because I was doing a lot of film photography, doing a lot of videos about film photography cameras, etc., etc. And I still enjoy film photography. I consider that to be my art medium, at least photographic art medium. And the digital stuff is for fun and for convenience and all that good stuff, and to some degree for art, like astrophotography really works out well with digital. But anyway, I mean, along the way, if you've been with me a long time, you've seen me go into audio stuff. That's another hobby I get into really deeply sometimes, and I fall back out of it, and I get into it deeply. Related to that was headphone stuff. I've done watch videos. I've done videos about my cars, the Porsches I've owned, and I guess I never did one about the Audi. I owe you guys one about it. It's gone, and I still haven't said why. I need to do a video about it. I'll get to it. Maybe doing this video will get me greased again for doing videos. Anyway, so what was I talking about? Oh, the fact that this is not purely a photography channel. Probably 200. I think I have like 360 videos. Probably 200 of them are about photography. So yes, it's a major focus, so to speak. Lately, yeah, I've gone off into this nutty synthesizer, this modular synthesizer stuff. Just exercises another part of my brain. I like creating things. It's another way to create something. Anyway, so lately, because of the move into large format stuff, and I don't do this for views. It's just when you start noticing some of your videos get a lot of views, you start kind of wanting that feeling. I didn't get into this for that. But, as I just said, sometimes I have a video that kind of takes off and it's like, wow, that's a pretty cool feeling. I'd like to get that again. That's not going to happen with a large format video. And that's not a reason for me to stop making them. It's just something I've noticed. Same deal with the Eurorack synthesizer stuff. There's not a huge audience for that. Modular synthesizer videos out there that have gotten tens of thousands of views. That's pretty amazing because it's very nichey. So, this stuff I'm into lately is just not going to get me a lot of views. But I'm not driven by views at the same time. It's just, again, an observation that I'm making. What's kind of keeping me from photography right now is it's just hot. It's summer. I pretty much only want to do large format if I shoot at all. I've had some foot problems I don't really want to go into. That's finally lessening a bit, which is awesome. Kind of those kind of things combined, and then just kind of I don't know, a general, ennui about shooting. I just haven't been really driven or inspired to get out and shoot, partially because of the reasons I just said, partially for other reasons, and all these reasons combined to just, yeah, I'll just hang out in the house and mix up music. So anyway, thanks for following along and sharing the journey that this channel has been. It's, I never really expected it to turn into the small but amazing to me thing that it is. So thanks for coming along with me. I want to spend a few minutes though to, because of these milestones I hit, just show you guys kind of, not for too long, but a little bit on the stats on the channel, so you can kind of see what actually does well. You might be surprised. I always am. So we'll do that. Okay, what we're looking at here is basically my channel analytics page, and I've set it to lifetime. So we can talk about some of the stuff here. Because I'm a developer, at least here, I've cleverly hidden my total estimated revenue, and I'm kind of hiding other revenue numbers down here because Google doesn't like people to share that. So there you have that. But we can talk about some of these things. This again is lifetime. So you can see for a part of my life, there's not much happening. And then it took off. That kind of happened, I think, about when I started doing the Leica stuff, Leica M8 and Leica M2. I started getting watch time, started getting views. You can see a peak in this area. I don't know if my mouse is going to show, but you can see a peak in the views and watch time area. That's around when the Sony A7 came out, I believe. And so I did some videos on that, and those kind of took off because it was a new thing and it was the hot stuff and so forth. And then you can see as time goes on, it starts falling off again. And that is kind of natural, like I was talking about. The large format stuff, just not as popular. And certainly the modular synthesizer stuff, not popular either, relatively speaking anyway. Likes, done pretty well on those, but I've gotten almost 1,000 dislikes over the lifetime of my channel. I don't dislike dislikes, except that I never know what the dislike is about, and that kind of sucks. So anyway, if you're going to dislike something, feel free, but it would be even better to have a comment so I would know what it is you dislike, unless you're just going to complain about something. That's what people usually do if they leave a negative comment. Lots of comments, lots of shares. That's nice. Lots of videos put into playlists, which is really cool. And there's my total subscribers at the moment, which is great. Thank you for subscribing. Down here, this is the stuff I was kind of talking about. It's kind of interesting to see what has done the best. This one kind of blows me away, and it has continued. It is always on the top. Sorry you can't see all of it, but I know what it is. This is the video I did on the A7 Mark II with Leica lenses, Leica R lenses. That thing it's a big performer, always. Just always at the top, pretty much. So here's one of those that might surprise you. I was kind of hinting around about that. It's my comparison or review, basically, of the Seiko X007 and 009. That's two different models of dive watch by Seiko. Crazy good views on that thing. That's probably been my top, even though it's not the top watch, I probably made more money on that than the Sony A7 II with the Leica lenses. And when I talk money here, I'm not talking about getting rich money. It's not even close. It's like hobby money. But over time, it adds up. I've been doing this for quite a while now. What has it been? 7 years? So then here's one about my new to me Porsche Boxster. Back when I bought that, that's been very popular. I kind of talk about things to watch out for when you buy a Boxster and the things that I did and all that good stuff. Then this one, not surprising, how to load a Hasselblad film back. That's done very well. Another watch one, Oyster bracelet. That's a bracelet that fits onto a Seiko dive watch. That's done crazy. Fuji GW693 overview and review. I think that's a 2-part video. check it out if you're interested in the big Texas Leica. So then this one always blows me away, and I make zip off of this. I did a demo of my audio system, my stereo system, at a certain point in its life cycle, and I make zero money off of that because I'm playing something, a piece of music that's copyrighted or whatever you want to say. So, but it's been a very popular video for God knows what reason. I've probably done 5 or 6 of those, but this one just took off. I don't know if I named it right or whether it fell onto some websites. I never really researched it, but yeah, that one's in there. So you get a feel for what I was trying to say before. It's not all photography stuff, and the stuff that does the best, other than this Sony one with the Leica lenses, is not even photography. The next two aren't. I think that next one, Sony A7 II update. I think that might have been the honeymoon is over, and man, people didn't like that, but it got a lot of views. And I didn't do it to get views. I did it to say, hey, I'm a new owner. I experienced these things. This is the good. This is the bad. And man, do people get butthurt when you say anything not positive about the camera they've fallen in love with. Or if you say something positive about the camera that they don't have. They hate that too. A few medium format film cameras compared is this one. That one's evergreen. It's been doing well forever and ever. It's a horrible video. I mean, the sound is incredibly bad. And the autofocus on the camera that I was shooting it with is horrible. But it's got some good content. Just goes to show that content is king and slickness doesn't really necessarily pay off. And then another film camera video, the GA645ZI overview. So that's my, 10, I guess? Yeah, top 10. That gives you a feel for kind of the distribution of videos that I have. Let's move down to some of this other data. Obviously, most watch time is in the States. You can tell just by the colors here if you can ignore the percentages. Mostly a male audience, not very surprising. Pretty guy stuff kind of topics, so not too surprising. Traffic sources, I don't know. It's not that meaningful to me. I guess if you're a YouTube hardcore, you figure out what all this stuff means. I think this means that YouTube, the suggested videos, means YouTube's actually sort of pushing my videos. But people are actually searching for things, and I'm getting hit on, a quarter of the time, which is kind of cool. And then there's, people linking to stuff externally, and then other 27%. That's really helpful. I have no idea what that is. Playback location, YouTube watch page. What other kind of page is there? Anyway, that's most of the views. Mobile devices, only 3.1%. That's a little surprising. Embedded in external sites, that's probably people trying to make money off my content. That does happen. It sucks, but whatever. I'm not big enough to even worry about it. So that's kind of an overview of the makeup of my channel. I hope that was interesting. It is kind of, it'd be interesting to see some of the big guys, like when they had giant bumps in their viewership and all that kind of thing. But I'm a extremely, extremely little guy, so I don't know how interesting that is. But you had to watch it anyway. There you go. You're welcome. Okay, so moving on from channel stuff. We'll talk a bit more about photography. I do have a couple of things I want to announce. First off, I sold my Chamonix F1. Now this was a beautiful, beautiful camera, very light, great for hiking, backpacking, etc. But you probably picked up in my review / overview of the camera, and then in further videos where I guess kind of bitched about it. It's pretty fiddly to use. And I have 3 4x5 cameras. I was like, man, I need to get rid of one of these. Let it be the Chamonix. So I sold it. I bought it used and basically made my money back on the sale. So, ABU, always buy used. That way you can experiment and sell it and really not have lost much. Maybe treat, whatever loss you have, treat it as a rental fee. I do have some 4x5 negatives that I developed probably a month ago, maybe longer. I lose track of time. Here they are. That's proof. See how beautiful they are? Aren't they nice? I'm going to do a video on these. I need to get them scanned or shot on the light box. I've got a little bit of video that goes with one of them. One of them is from the same day where I did the Chamonix shot on Bear Creek. It's at Red Rocks, and there's some footage that goes with it. It's not shooting footage, it's winding footage, but it's maybe entertaining. Anyway, I'll mix up a video on that eventually. No promises on when. Back to this modular thing, if in case you're curious about it. This thing, this is crack. Don't get into it. If you're tempted, just stay away. But seriously though, that thing rubs my brain just the right way. It's hard to put into words, but it's kind of like my job. I'm a software developer. It rubs my brain in some similar ways that writing code does. So it's hard to describe, but you kind of descend into an alternate universe of the thing you're doing. So I can completely disappear while patching this thing. These videos that I put up, believe it or not, it probably, even though I'm doing them roughly weekly, I'm not planning it to be weekly. It just kind of works out. It takes me about a week to get a patch to where I feel like it's, slightly good enough to do a performance video of. I probably spend about 12 hours on a patch. And that's like a couple hours at a time on a weekend. And then, nightly during the week, I hammer on it a little bit. And then the next weekend, I hammer on it a bit more, and then I cut the video. Kind of build it up, get it to sound right, experiment with that sound, maybe toss it, keep building until I then can kind of try to make a performance out of it. Sorry for the air quotes. I don't know. I don't want it to sound like I'm some sort of artiste, but you build a performance out of this thing. You kind of have to play that thing a little bit. And then record it, and then sometimes I have to record it 2 or 3 times. And I've done a lot of different types of music production. It's unlike anything else I've ever done, and it scratches itches in my brain just the right way. So it's been very addictive, and when it's hot outside and it's cool in the basement, it's fun to just come down here and plug into that world and kind of disappear for a while. So that's what's got me so, just doing that right now. It's the thing that's inspiring to me at the moment. Moving on from there, those of you, by the way, who have subscribed due to these modular productions, whatever you want to call them, thank you for that. I really appreciate it. It's pretty cool to see. Never thought that would happen. So anyway, it's neat. Random note, I bought an iPad Pro 10.5 recently. I've had an iPad Air for the last few years. I don't know how long they've been out. I basically bought it when they were fresh out. I got this because of talk of performance, and yes, it performs amazingly well. I think what Apple has done is, like with the Retina display, they are trying to make it so your eyes can't detect pixels. The graphics performance of this thing is such that when you're interacting with it, you can't detect any lag between your motion and what's happening on the screen. And so I think they're trying to model physical things like, as soon as I do this, this thing moves. And they're winning on that. Yikes. It really does. It performs very well. It's very smooth. I can tell the difference, and I love it. What I don't like is the fact, let me go to here's my iPad Air 2, and I have this keyboard cover. Man, that's gross. Yeah, don't look at the screen. This is a Logitech Type Plus keyboard cover, and it really transforms your experience of the machine, in my opinion. It makes it into a laptop. Logitech, in their infinite wisdom, is not producing this exact cover for the iPad Pro 10.5. They've come up with some other monstrosity that has a kickstand and a separating keyboard and bullshit. It's useless. Useless to me in the way I want to use it. So I'm stuck with this thing. this keyboard cover. This is an abomination. I hate this thing. It types well. I mean, typing on it's fine. But, I mean, it's the Quasimodo of keyboard covers. It's not elegant at all. Apple. Jeez, really? It doesn't cover the back. The keyboard is nice. I'll say the keyboard types nicely. But when it's deployed, this is a mess. I mean, this is ridiculous. But anyway, once it's set up, these corners and edges conveniently cut into your legs if you're wearing shorts, which I do 99.9% of the time. I'm on the train, commuting downtown. I put this on my knees to type and stuff, and it's very uncomfortable. It's a piece of crap. I hate it. So Logitech, please make a Type Plus for this thing. Thank you. Anyway, iPad Pro 10.5, pretty nice. I haven't played with the pencil a lot. I got a pencil with it. It was one of those, I may as well. You know, it's a Pro. I need the pencil, and I haven't done a damn thing with it. So anyway, I can give it a thumbs up except for the keyboard experience. So finally, I'm done talking. Thanks for watching, if you still are. And I'm going to throw this out again. I keep throwing it out. I don't know if people are interested or not. I don't get a lot of feedback. Maybe that is my answer. But I occasionally think of doing live stream, maybe even a Google Hangout. If you're interested, comment below. And that's it for now. I will catch you later.